Hi guys, it's Mike from The Last Watch. And look, I want to come at you guys today to talk about something that's really near and dear to my heart. But it's what's going on across America, the hellscape, I call it, of America. And this has been overlooked for years, but it's been in our faces, and that's the homeless issue in America. Donald Trump put out an executive order called the Civil Commitment Order, and it's got the Dems and the libtards going absolutely crazy. Here's the premise. The premise is he's empowering the cities across America to deal with the homeless problem by committing the homeless people to institutions, and that's a loose use of that word, but to facilities where they can get help. Now, that may sound harsh. The liberals certainly think it's harsh. They think that we're going to lock up all the LBGT people and anybody that's against the conservative point of view, and maybe that wouldn't be bad either when you take into consideration like AOC and the squad. But this is a serious issue. You know, I was homeless and I did end up getting committed before it was like any kind of a thing like that, and it changed my life. So I want you guys to look at this in a certain way. If you go to San Francisco, for instance, which used to be a beautiful city, it's an absolute mess today. Just a mess. And that is one of the things that Trump is like targeting. When you go to, say, the Tenderloin, when you're within a block or so away from the Tenderloin, you can smell it. It's horrible. It's like human depravity at its peak. You don't have to go look at all this stuff going on around the world where you see people who are, homeless and hungry and just down and out. And you know what? It's right here in America. So let's look at what this does. What it does is it allows cities the power to go in and get people and put them into facilities where they can get some help. Now, do they all want help? You know what? They all want help, but they just don't know how to get it. And I guarantee you that's true. I've been there. It's the way it is. And so I think when we look at this, we need to look at it as a human problem, not a human mess. You know, in my case, God saved me from that. And in all cases, God will save and correct this situation. But God needs a little help sometimes. And I think that this is the way that we can accomplish that. What else do we do? Most of you, when you see a homeless person, you look the other way, you walk on the other side of the street and all that. It's tempting to do that, but that's not the answer. The answer is to get an aggressive program put together to take care of this once and for all. You go to Los Angeles and you look around and there's, the homeless encampments everywhere, Orange County, California, New York City, Chicago, all across the country. And people will say, well, they just don't want to get a job. Okay, let me explain something to you. I had a great job. I lost that great job, and I'm not going to bore you with how all that happened. But then when I started to get off the streets, people would say, wow, I can't believe your background. Why don't you just go out and get a job? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll tell you what, I'll put on the one pair of jeans I have and the dirty t-shirt and the messed up tennis shoes, and I'll go down to one of Wall Street's firms and say, hey, here I am. The problem is it's a long journey back once you go there. It's a long journey back, and it requires a lot of help, and it requires a lot of faith. And we tend to criticize a problem rather than deal with it. we try to blame everyone else for it rather than figure out a way of how to get out of it. And I personally think that this is a step in the right direction. Now, is there room in this executive order for abuse? Of course there is. I mean, since 1776, every time the government does something, there's abuse. That's just the way it works. But we can maintain some fashion of humanity in all of this because it's not this is not about money. This is about saving lives, and for Christians, it's a wonderful opportunity to show up and to bring people closer to Christ. Guys like me who've been there and done that. It's a great opportunity for all of us to stand up and make a difference in America. So I encourage you to get behind this and to try in your own community to do what you can. The liberals for years have had social programs that didn't work. I'll tell you, when I was out there on the streets, the liberal run facilities were worse than being on the street. They absolutely were. So how do we do it? I'm not really sure I know. I mean, it takes God, no doubt, but I think that this really truly is a step in the right direction. Someone asked me this morning when I was talking about this, well, when you were put into a facility, because I kind of lost my mind and they put me in County USC psychiatric ward for a month, to me, it was kind of like going to the Ritz-Carlton, man. I had showers, I had a bed, they fed me 3 times a day. They had programs, I mean, it was the beginning, and that's what these people on the street need. They need a beginning. They need hope, because when you're out there, it seems hopeless. And that's why you have the rampant drug addiction and all that stuff out there. I don't know where they get all these drugs, but they get them, and it's not only is it a blight on society, but it's a blight on humanity. This is not the way God wanted us to handle it, to just push everybody out on the street and let them put up their boxes and their tents and just, self-will run riot. You know, that's not the way it's supposed to be. So I want you to kind of give this thing a shot and keep your eyes on it and make sure that it doesn't get out of control. And let's try and make a difference. Let's really try to make a difference as Christians in this effort. So listen, that's my 2 cents today, or 2 bits, or whatever you want to call it, on this issue. And I want to thank all you guys for being a part of this channel. And we've got some great stuff coming up tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern. You'll have Derek Gilbert. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern, you'll have CIA insider Kevin Shipp, and it's a powerful show. So we've got some great stuff on the down the pipeline here, and be a part of it. And I hope to see many of you in Springfield, Missouri for the Remnant Rising 2025 conference coming up August 22nd through the 24th. If you want information about that, just visit hearthewatchman.com. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you a little bit later. Whoa there, big fellas. Pull those reins back for a second before you go away. Look at the Remnant Rising 2025 conference in Springfield, Missouri, August 22nd through the 24th. It's right around the corner. Look at the speakers. Look who's going to be there. Joe Horn, Kenny Seay, Jamie Walden, Derek Gilbert, Kevin Shipp, Donna Howell, Nita Horn, Nathan Reynolds, Mondo de la Vega, oh, and Randy Conway, Sharon Gilbert, Dave Hodges, John Moore, Tracy Tennant, Vicky Joy Anderson, and Stewart Rhodes. You guys Can't be missing out on this. I don't know what we got to do to ignite the fire underneath you, but you need to do it. You need to come out because listen, it's like in Gideon said, the 300, they were able to witness God work. He didn't say see him, he said witness. So come on out, join us. August 22nd through the 24th, Springfield, Missouri. Just go to hearthewatchman.com. Check everything out, make your reservations, and use the promo code YouTube20 and you will save $20 off your purchase. So get busy, get out there, make a difference, be a part of the body, rise up, and step in to a whole new level of faith for our Lord Jesus Christ. You guys, thank you so much, and we're going to see you there.